So you said a couple of minutes ago that Patrick Esume was with the Browns
Yeah.
back then. He's like the big star in Germany who's covering American football.
Yeah.
Is there a good story or like a nugget you remember?
Well, it's funny because he was like the assistant to the guy that gets your coffee. He was like as low on the totem pole as you can imagine. And I didn't even really remember him until we were talking after, and he said, "Hey, by the way, I was in Cleveland." And then the wheels started turning in my head. Oh, I do remember you. But yeah, I mean, he's like the commissioner of the league. He's humongous over here, and I'm so proud, so happy that he has made such a journey through this game of football and helped expand it within Germany.
So you said you were surprised how much knowledge the Germans had about American football, but you played with a German before, right?
Yes. I just told Christian Moore. Christian Moore. There was a program that the NFL had where you were allowed to bring in international players and they could be on your practice team and try to learn the game a little bit, popularize it back in their country. And then from there, he actually, I think, went to Seattle Seahawks and actually got to play in some games because when he was with us, he was just on the practice team. But I always respected how hard he worked. Like, he was one of the hardest working guys that I'd ever been around. And I said, you know what, if the Germans have this work ethic, we can find some really good football players when I go over there, and we could bring some guys to the NFL for sure.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why European League of Football is growing that much. Some players got to the IPP, the new program from the NFL, implementing European players. But you said you are a week in Munich or like in Europe?
Yeah, just a week in Munich. We came out here specifically to meet the team and to see the area and look for schools for our kids and stuff, but then also try to take in some of the sites, make sure that, you know, I fell in love with Munich when I was here in the fall for the NFL game, but I want my family to fall in love and get excited about coming back next year.
That's a good tactic. And everybody who's checking your Instagram account is seeing that you are like a guy who's hunting, who's fishing, and Bavaria is good for that as well.
Yes.
You already checked out.
I know. So I have German roots. You know, my whole family's German. But I'm curious if, you know, my culture in Wisconsin German is the same as it is here. But it sounds like we have at least a few things in common. I like eating pork. I like drinking beer, and I like to hunt. So hopefully the Bavarian cultures are pretty similar to what I'm used to.
Citizenship approved, I would say. Citizenship approved.